Our journey began in Vancouver. We met at the airport, where Rob immediately set about destroying the neck pillow I bought him. After that, we managed to board our flight on China Southern Airways. Our journey took us halfway around the world, with a quick beer stop in China. We then continued on to Hanoi for customs clearance. Before finally heading down to Ho Chi Minh City. This is where we'd buy our bikes and start the trip. The journey would take us up Vietnam's entire coast, a distance of over 1,000 miles. Ending in the north at Halong City. We didn't know it yet, but this trip was going to take us through some absolutely incredible terrain, stunning scenery, some of the worst weather either of us have ever seen, sketchy roads, and everywhere reminders of the war. But before we could do any of this, we had to figure out how to get out of Saigon, and that meant we had to buy bikes. Ooh, this is a nice outdoor lounge. Okay, let's find ourselves a taxi. Where's that?
Typhoon Market right there. It's at the far west end of the street, and then we'll just go up the street.
That's on Hoi An?
Well, it's close. It's freaking 100 meters away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger. Happy taxi. Our psychotic cab driver gave us our first taste of Vietnamese traffic, swerving in and out of bikes at twice the posted speed limit. It was just a vision of things to come. We had him drop us off alive in the backpackers areas of Saigon. This is where we'd start the hunt for our bikes.
Oh, buddy. This is holiday. This is being on holiday, finally. Oh, more sunglasses.
Stop acknowledging.
No. See, I'm good. No, I have one. No.
Our hard hunting eventually yielded results.
Tell me about your bike.
So as you can see,
A little louder.
I've done this properly
Oh god.
and bought off a Westerner.
What is it? Tell us what it is.
This is a 110cc Honda Win.
Yeah. That's what it started his life as anyway.
It's basically basic in every way.
There you go. Show the star.
I call it Dong Chi, which is Vietnamese for comrade.
Yeah, they outfitted it with this gay seat here that has some massaging ass qualities.
And you don't have it on yours, and you're gonna have a wet ass because of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it rains, you get a wet ass regardless. Anyway, so to give you some backstory here, Scott bought this off some sketchy guy that he met on the internet, on Craigslist actually. He was searching for something else on Craigslist, but he ended up finding a motorcycle.
Jealous of my bike. In 50 kilometers.
He wants to talk about doing things properly. So mine, same thing, Honda Win. His is, no, I think are both of them from Thailand.
Ugly seat, you got ugly gas tank.
Yes, but I bought mine from a mechanic, and he did a whole bunch of things for it, right? I got a new chain, I got a new sprocket, I got all this stuff. So the chances of it breaking down are a little less. A little
Tell me
less.
what you're talking about the speedometer there, though.
Oh, what do you need a speedometer for? So anyway, I got new tires.
It says you're going about 20 kilometers an hour right now.
Yeah, I'm always moving.
Yeah.
It's got new tires and it stalls every once in a while, but I think that's operator error mainly. But anyway, we're gonna get this move on, the show on the road here. We have
1,000 miles.
to go. Today, I think, I don't know, what are we doing today? 200 miles?
No, it's like 300.
I think we're going 300 miles
300 today.
So we're trying to get to Dalat.
50 pounds of sweat later. And
Yeah, we're in Ho Chi Minh going to Dalat, and this is going to be... We've already had some pretty close calls in traffic. It'll be nice to get out of the city. But we thought we knew our way here, and it took us 20 minutes just to find this place. We were a block away from it. We're at the War Remnants Museum, but anyway, we're going to hit the road.
our upbeat optimism was quickly put in check when we got into Ho Chi Minh City's notoriously bad traffic. The locals here think nothing of it. They grow up knowing no different, but it's a literal death trap for Western drivers. We were just a couple of stupid tourists in way over our heads. Our maps were useless, GPS was useless. It would take us all day just to figure out how to get to the outskirts of the city. We were so excited to make it to the outskirts, onto the open road. We could finally give her. Of course, that freedom was short-lived as we were back into the traffic within no time at all.
So we just got off the main AH1, the Asia Highway number 1, the main road in Vietnam. Just turned on to the QL20, and this is the road that takes us up the mountains, or up through the mountains into Dalat. As you can see, both bikes working well so far. Yeah, they're fast. Woo! Speed machines. Rob's got a shitty clutch.
Clutch is fine.
And a sticky throttle.
Sticky throttle's not so good.
I have a center stand that hits the ground every time there's a ripple in the pavement. But other than that, things going quite well.
I'll show you what's wrong.
This bounces.
The whole time you're driving, it just does this.
Oh. That's probably fine.
Yeah, you'll be alright.
Dalat.
Of course, we soon found ourselves in a torrential downpour, which ended up filling all the holes in the road with water, sort of working like a pothole camouflage. And before long, that ended up taking its toll on one of our bikes.
So we're making good progress, starting to dry out, and then Rob chose this exact moment to have a bit of an issue with his bike. Broke a spark plug wire on the pumps.
Yeah, well, the roads were absolutely terrible.
Here we are at the bike shop, getting that fixed on the side of the road.
Yeah, shattered some plastic, that's for sure. Shattered my spine as well.
How did you fix it?
Oh, a bungee cord wrapped around my engine. It was the only reason I made it here. That's great. These nice gentlemen are going to take care of me.
And while we're at it, I'm also getting my rattly chain guard screwed into place, so it stops sounding like a small crash every time I hit a bump.
While Rob finished up with his bike, I scouted ahead for a place to eat, and we ended up finding a nice roadside cafe. We had a fantastic meal, and just as the sun started to set, we hit the mountain roads. Yeah, the nighttime driving was a big mistake. We couldn't see any of the potholes, mainly because the headlights on our bikes illuminated only about 2 3/4 feet in front of us. So eventually we got tired of that. We didn't quite make it to Dalat, and we found a nice hotel on the side of the road about an hour's ride from Dalat. We spent the night there. As you can see by my face here, it's covered in road debris and whatever else. So it was a fun drive, but yeah, we're not going to do any more night driving. We're missing all the views we came to see. So anyways, in the morning it was revealed that the hotel was actually a bit of a gem, perched right on the side of a jungle hill. We had an incredible breakfast, and then we geared up for a full day's driving.
What set you free? Brought you to me. What set you free? I leave you here by me. Because in the midnight hour, she cried more with a rebel yell.
Roads are getting quieter. We're into the real farmland now.
Yeah, day 2 has been way better than day 1. Day 1, painfully getting out of Ho Chi Minh. I had no idea it was going to be that difficult. We got lost about 8 times, even with instructions and GPS. It's amazing. But then we hit the highway, had a great time. Then we beat the shit out of our bikes for about 7 hours, and ourselves, and our spines, and my asshole. And then we crashed in some town we've never heard of before. As in went to sleep, not crashed. Although it felt like we crashed. Today though, this is the day. This is the day we have all the fun. We go to Dalat, go to Nha Trang, and then we sit there for 4 or 5 days and get as drunk as possible.
The road up to Dalat was a strange mix of wide open abandoned country roads and towns. With the odd bit of Buddhist temple scenery mixed in, of course. Eventually, though, we did make it into Dalat, and we found our way to a nice lakeside seafood restaurant for some lunch.
I was talking about with my camera, Scott.
Praise Jesus, the crispy fried duck has arrived.
Flaps.
A quick visit to the markets,
Just shopping at the market in Dalat.
and we hit the road, en route to Nha Trang.
Yeah, black as a dog, but like a ball in a chain. All I wanna do is get off and feel it for a minute, babe. I dig it, dog. I love God.
We were down there. It's that road.
But all I wanna do is get off.
After finding a couple of nice roadside beauty spots, we decided to pull over for a rest.
So our selections for today's roadside stop, the refreshment stand include Wonder Farm Winter Melon Tea with relieving heat action. And for me, I got Bird's Nest White Fungus Drink, and it says nutritious. So bottoms up.
That's low, Mike.
Well, mine is. It's got chunks of white. Oh. Oh, what I just put in my body. Oh. Oh.
The jungle roads were incredible. We both felt like we were in Jurassic Park, waiting for a raptor to jump out of the bushes and take us clean off our bikes.
And like it or not, like a ball in a chain, all I wanna do is get off my feet up for a minute like a real big baby. Oh yeah, already forgot what I thought I was saying.
I think that is a big comfy seat.
Look at my ass has been the whole time.
What's wrong? Is your ass a little sore?
Yes, yours is not.
Hang on, I want to get on the other side of that pole there. Can I do this without getting malaria? That'd be great.
Good luck with that.
Watch me get mauled by a tiger. Pretty cool spot. Driving through the clouds.
We rolled into Nha Trang just as the sun was going down, and of course the traffic immediately became insane again. It's hard for us Western drivers to wrap our heads around some of their road rules, particularly their pedestrian crossing system, of which there is no system. You just close your eyes and go. This eventually became a problem for one of us. As you can see here in this freeze frame, Rob almost runs over a man. As he hit his brakes to avoid him, he was rear-ended by another motorcycle. My little GoPro camera wasn't able to get the crash on its handlebar mount, so I hired a bunch of stunt drivers to recreate the crash for the sake of TV.
Right, so if you're just tuning in, welcome back to another episode of Riding Dirty with Rob Coolen and friends. So we made it to Nha Trang, just in the hotel room. We got in last night just as it was getting dark. Traffic got intense again. We found the beach. Rob had his first crash. So all in all, things going pretty much as expected. Scuba diving today.
The diving was an absolute blast, and for the price we paid, I'd say it'd be hard to beat anywhere else in the world, considering it was completely trouble-free. Almost.
This is what happens if you blow your nose too hard underwater.
Well, many other things as well, but here, I'll give you a good shot.
Healing. The sea is trying to kill me.
The next morning, we had breakfast with a man who was also within an inch of his life. And then Rob tried to order something from the menu.
So what happened here is that Rob ordered a Bloody Mary in Vietnam, his version of a hangover cure. And what happened is that they brought him a strawberry daiquiri and some hot sauce to put in it. Rob, verdict?
Wrong. There's something wrong with this. Very wrong.
How does it taste?
What did I just put inside me?
That afternoon, with temperatures soaring up to 35 degrees Celsius with 100% humidity, we received a bit of troubling news.
Hot.
Fall much sooner than with the ECMWF, and I think this is more likely the case by Monday evening. Here right around Da Nang and Hue, Vietnam, you're going to be getting the brunt of this storm system, and this seems more likely the case. Monday evening, the storm system coming ashore and just looking rather violent right in this area.
Vietnam is evacuating tens of thousands of people in the path of Typhoon Nari after the powerful storm left 13 dead in the Philippines. Nari is expected to slam into central Vietnam on Tuesday morning after ripping off rooftops, toppling trees, and triggering flash floods in the northern Philippines over the weekend. Authorities in the central provinces were moving roughly 66,000 people in vulnerable coastal area to safety.
We told ourselves after day one that we learned our lesson, right? We wouldn't drive for 10 hours straight through the night because it's super fucking dangerous on the roads here at night. So we're going to take our time, do a midway stop on the way to Hoi An, which is about a 10 or 11 hour ride, right? I think.
I don't know. It's 11 hours to Hoi An.
To Hoi An, yeah. So we didn't want to rush ourselves, but now things have changed, and we looked at the weather forecast, and Tropical Storm Nari, which is a Category 2 typhoon, or Typhoon Nari, sorry, is going to hit the central Vietnam coast right around Hoi An at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. So now we have to get to Hoi An before the typhoon makes landfall.
Otherwise, we get washed out.
Yeah, which I will show you on this shitty map. So Hoi An is up here, and we are way down here, which is a long ways away.
It's been nice knowing you.
I packed up a ridiculous picture Rob bought me, and we set off for Hoi An. But of course, before long, I couldn't handle riding like this, so I pulled into a picture store and had them take the frame off and put it in a waterproof tube for the rest of the trip.
There's something wrong with the world today. I don't know what it is. Something's wrong with our eyes. We're seeing things in a different way. God knows it ain't his. It sure ain't no surprise. We're living on the edge. Living on the edge. Living on the edge. Living on the edge. There's something wrong with the world today. The light bulb's getting dim. There's meltdown in the sky. If you can judge a wise man by the color of his skin, then mister, you're a better man than I. Living on the edge, you can't live yourself from far. Living on the edge, you can't help yourself.
we're on the highway towards Quy Nhon, on the way to Hoi An, and we just drove past this big memorial with a lot of graves. So we thought we should stop in and look at it. Incense. On the road to Hoi An, just about in a place called Quy Nhon, following the coast up, and well, show you here. Typhoon Nari approaches. The race is on for us to get to Hoi An before the roads wash out.
If the camera does it any justice, those are probably a meter and a half swells coming in.
Yeah, the little GoPro camera might not be picking this up, but there's some. The coast is really calm here. Apparently this is unusual. Well, we probably shouldn't waste any time then, eh?
Then we managed to get ourselves lost on some highway that was little more than a sidewalk running through a desert. It was like going back in time. People were walking their livestock, farmers were drying their crops on the side of the highway, and then we came across this.
So we are literally lost somewhere in the 12th century. Well, I shouldn't say lost. We know where the ocean is. It's now getting quite violent as the typhoon gets nearer. But look what we found. It's a huge war memorial. We're right where the heart of the fighting was during the war. Well, that's definitely not a statue of Americans celebrating victory, I can tell you that. Yeah.
As the rains preceding the typhoon started to come down, we finally made it.
Okay, so we just rolled into Hoi An. Finally, we're absolutely soaked to the bone because that typhoon is almost here. We got a few hours till it makes landfall, so we're just studying the topographical maps right now, try and choose a hotel that's above 2 meters above sea level, because apparently that's the height of the storm surge. And of course we don't want Dong-Chi and Kit here, as Rob has named his bike, to get flooded.
I don't know about being soaking wet. I'm perfectly dry. Well, except for my pants, actually. Those are kind of
Anyways, I'll show you the hotel we get in a little bit here.
This was the scene greeting us off our balcony the next morning. We weren't quite sure what was going on. We figured it out.
So here we are, another day in paradise. We chose our hotel last night, and it got dark. Had some dinner, and we came back, and then just genuinely feared for our lives because Nari is here. The storm hit last night early in the morning. Well, it was still dark, so unfortunately the camera wouldn't pick up anything. And then we had a nice peaceful sleep. Things calmed down because apparently we chose to stay somewhere directly in the eye of the frickin' storm. And we woke up in the eye. And now, as you can see, the wind is changed direction, is blowing opposite to what it was last night. And the eye is just passing us now, and shit be crazy.
We counted ourselves as wise for choosing a hotel with solid concrete foundations, well above the height of the storm surge. Others weren't so lucky.
You still want to go out there?
Yeah, let's go on the bridge.
Fuck that, dude. This is 8 times as strong as it was when I was out there, and I was going to get blown away. We're not going out there.
In hindsight, Rob might have been right. Eventually we noticed a man in a traditional fishing boat being pushed towards the bridge. There wasn't a whole lot we could do, so we just watched. It was one guy by himself on the boat. He was running around frantically throwing down anchors trying to steer the boat into the shoreline. Fortunately he missed and he got pushed up against the bridge. Eventually he jumped up onto the bridge and climbed to safety, but his boat was trashed overnight and ended up being found in the weeds the next morning. That next morning we went into town to check out the damage. It looked like a literal battlefield. Even though they had the roads opened up, there was debris everywhere.
Look at that, it snapped a concrete signpost in half. Jesus.
We really had to watch our step. There were down power lines everywhere, dead rats floating in the gutters. Despite all this, there was still the odd fruit cart woman that managed to make their way out to the sidewalk and was selling their wares.
They've already got all the debris neatly organized into piles. And it's only been a couple hours since the wind died down. Not bad.
Eventually we got tired of walking around, and while we waited for the floodwaters to dissipate, we decided to go have some suits tailored.
It takes a minimum of 4 people to make Rob look good.
Look at that lighter. Look at this shirt.
Yeah, that is a shirt. It's like a Vietnamese theme motif, if you will.
we decided to go for some gourmet lunch before going back to have some shoes made.
Rob's favorite meal.
One more?
While we waited for them to stitch everything together at the tailor's, we decided to drive down to the beach to all the resorts that have been evacuated of Westerners to check out the damage. These places were trashed, and they ended up having to call in the army to come help with the cleanup to get the tourists back in and get the economy going again.
Once our suits had finished and the floodwaters had subsided, we headed back to the hotel for our ride to the Hoi An Pass and on to Hue. Rob's complaining about his bony ass and his seat, so he bought a pillow from the hotel.
You bought me a pillow, actually.
I bought him a pillow.
I lost my one button.
Oh yeah, this is also his riding shirt for the day. Silk. Very nice.
Oh, bike sit rep. We had some repairs done. I got a new tail light. It does not work still. It just looks really
There.
good. That doesn't look good. Some welds. Several welds, actually. Chain tightened, oil change, spark plugs fixed, and seat good to go. Scott, where are you standing this? Oh, does this attach now?
It was always attached.
That's questionable.
Just had a minor weld thing, but other than that, just an oil change and a chain lube and dong cheese ready for action.
Okay,
Let's roll.
Hoi An Pass. Beautiful day. Let's hit it.
Jealous of Rob's riding shirt, I went and picked one up for myself, and we headed for the Hoi An Pass, a famous coastal road taking us to the ancient city of Hue.
Getting paid by the mountain with heavy loads. I've logged 1,000,000 miles down lonely roads. I'm watching my life going by in the mirror. I'm pushing it hard and I'm shifting gears. Never really out.
This highway really did earn its reputation as being a beautiful coastal road. It treated us to some spectacular views on the way to Hue.
On GPS satellite stations. The thunder and diesel driving me on. I'm steering that wheel from dusk till dawn. Highways out there are calling my name. The sound of rolling wheels, such a sweet refrain. Highway heaven, highway heaven, it's a highway heaven to me. Those broken white lines make me feel alright. I'm passing every car in my headlights. Driving this road is all I've known in my paradise of steel and chrome. Highways out there are calling my name. The sound of rolling wheels, such a sweet refrain.
Eventually we arrived in Hue and made it a direct line for the ancient city.
Sound of rolling wheels, such a sweet refrain. Highway heaven, it's a highway.
Located directly in the center of Vietnam, the ancient city, also known as the Imperial City, was hotly contested during the Vietnamese War, fought over by both sides for its obvious strategic advantages. The Vietnamese are in the process of restoring it right now. It's a giant fort surrounded by a wall that used to contain an old city. This chair, which I'm not supposed to be taking a photograph of, is where the old emperor would have sat. We could have spent days here looking over all the old war history, but eventually we had to hit the Ho Chi Minh Highway and head north.
Well, so much for my good mood. We just stopped in for breakfast. For a very common rice soup. They put different meats in it. Last night we had a really good one. Shrimp. And what I can only hope was clam. Although I'm not sure where the clam came from. That's what I'm telling myself. This morning, however, it was a mix of what I imagine is beef intestine and just a cow went through a wood chipper and they put it in some sausage and that was it. It was not pretty. I found teeth. The intestine was not, there was no effort made to clean the intestine. I think I found undigested food in it actually. Had a really hard time getting through the bowl. Not feeling so hot right now about that. Anyway, that's only step one. Step two is we are on the Ho Chi Minh Highway. However, we've been warned. My interpretation is that their road has either washed away or there's some kind of giant hole in the road or something that makes it impossible to get through. Or maybe very just dangerous. I don't know. There's still like motorcycles coming towards us though. So I've got hopes on that, but we'll see. It's probably like a goat trail around this gigantic hole in this missing section of road. Due to the Typhoon Nari, no doubt. We're not really that far away from where she hit. Bitch. Dude, that one sees red. No, he doesn't like you.
The first part of the Ho Chi Minh Highway was incredible, but as we got into the steeper terrain, Rob's prediction held true, and the road conditions started to deteriorate quite quickly due to all the rainwater that had dropped.
Oh shit! Our road is washed away. The locals were just yelling and screaming at us because they thought we were going to drive off of, well, this. Yeah. Looks like the storm took her right out. You think there's a way around up there?
There is, yeah. We
gotta backtrack a little bit.
Oh, like 300 feet.
Oh, okay. I bet you I could jump it.
Eventually we hit a dead end. The road was completely closed. Despite work crews' efforts to open it, it would be days. We backtracked for hours to the AH1 highway before we could continue further north. To cheer himself up, Rob bought a new pair of pants while the locals proceeded to steal my motorcycle.
Hey, get off of there! Yeah. Get over here. Show us your new pants.
New pants?
Yeah. Quick stop at the pants store. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think you get that through customs.
No, I don't either, but
We then found a store that sold other things.
oh, when you were flapping your wings, I thought she was gonna kill one of those birds on the wall and give them to you. Snakes.
There wasn't much scenery on this part of the AH1 highway, so we decided to make good time. We pushed the bikes harder than ever. Of course, this created a problem for one of us. My bike had completely packed it in. So with some vague directions from some of the locals, I walked it down the road to the nearest shop while Rob had some lunch.
Yes. I don't know where we are exactly. We're on our way to Ninh. Scott has decided to break down after some high-speed highway passes there, doing like 95. Something is wrong with his bike. It just completely shut off. So he just wheeled it off somewhere, and I'm just gonna sit here and have some lunch and drink some Red Bull and wait for him.
Meanwhile,
Bad stator coil.
Bạn ở đâu cơ?
by this point Rob had attracted a bit of a crowd and they were all playing with his camera.
Đây, nó như thế này.
But eventually Dong Chi sprang back to life and we hit the highway.
What are you carrying? Oh, motorcycle full of ducks. Quack, quack, quack.
Only to stop at a mechanic's down the road for some minor surgery on Dong Chi's front end.
Rob, move your bike. Give it some air, please.
With the light fading, we decided to call it a night.
It's a majestic sight, isn't it?
Well, are you talking to me or the bikes?
No.
I'm feeling
Talking to you now.
majestic this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah. So here we are in front of the world's shittiest hotel. Hopefully our last day riding. 350 kilometers to Halong. A long push. We're getting really sick of this AH1 highway because of the truck drivers and buses and their extreme love affair with their horns and trying to run us over. And everyone likes to pull out onto the highway from little side roads and then look after they've pulled out to see who they've cut off or what accident they've caused. Not before or after. So we're kind of wishing the Ho Chi Minh Highway was open. Hey?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And I just discovered that my chain is now looser than when it was when I took it to the mechanic to have my chain tightened.
We should probably get that looked at.
No, we're almost there.
That's touching your center stand.
It's doing more than that. It's actually turned over my center stand. It used, like before I took it to the mechanic, it was touching the center stand. Now it's drooping over the center stand. That's okay, still plenty of power and a little kit there. And my upgraded seat, that was extra. Hotel pillow plus a bag to keep the water out, which works fantastically actually. All the complaining we like to do, I have to say, that's been one stroke of genius right there. So I can't really talk, I've inhaled most of Asia down my throat. Or Asia's exhaust anyway.
How's the pants?
That's fantastic.
Well, let's get to it.
Almost immediately, Rob's speedometer packed in and started making some horrendous grinding noise while telling him he was doing 130 kilometers an hour. But we pushed on through the last few miles and the bikes held together all the way to the finish line.
Hopefully the camera's picking this up. Sun just set. We just got to Halong.
Can I shut this piece of shit off?
We have arrived! Found.
Oh, as the sun sets on Halong Bay, so is our journey.
You've been saving that one, haven't
1,000 kilometers.
You've been saving that gay quote for 2,000 kilometers.
Hair raising. You ruined my moment. There's conventional moments right now.
To apologize for ruining Rob's moment, I bought him a present.
Rob's just getting his new gift I bought him. Custom fit.
Oh my goodness. Well,
You were getting so wet on the ride, I thought I'd better.
the difference between you and me, I make this work.
After talking with some locals at the market that spoke pretty good English, we realized pretty quickly that while Halong's a beautiful city, it wasn't our real finishing line, and it was a really transient city with most people coming only to stay a night or two to then go out on cruise ships out in Halong Bay. We knew we had to get out to Halong Bay onto Katba Island somehow. Over a beach beer, we came up with a plan and a rough route to get out to the Katba.
I think we're going out there somewhere.
And then we jumped on the bikes for one last ride. The ferry to Katba was painfully slow, but we didn't mind because there was some pretty spectacular scenery along the way.
Probably couldn't have picked a nicer day.
Traditional fishing boat coming at us.
No bathroom on this boat, and we have to piss so bad.
I'll look back at this later and be like, "Hey, pussy's put something aside." No, you can't because there's children everywhere.
Yeah, he's jumping on.
After being boarded by pirates, almost crashing into a grain barge, and and passing a floating fishing village, we finally reached the ferry terminal on Katba Island. Our route would take us from the north of the island where the ferry terminal was down to the south in Katba, about 35 kilometers, but some of the best roads we've seen in the whole trip.
Island is incredible! Amazing! What a nice surprise at the end of the trip! Wow, look at that!
For one last time, as the sun set, we arrived at our finishing point.
So here's the view from our hotel room in Katba. There is a whole bunch of floating restaurants and moored junk boats out in the bay right now. All lit up. Looks quite nice. It's a really nice night out here. But we are off to celebrate that we're at the real finish line now.
After a night of mingling with the locals and some tourists, we managed to find buyers for our bikes.
Right? That's Asia Outdoor, right? $100. That's the same thing, yeah. Bye-bye, Kit. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, we still gotta sell this one, yeah.
And we spent the last couple days of our vacation on a local beach, one of the nicest beaches either of us have ever seen anywhere in the world. It was a great end to a great trip.